What up everybody, Scuffy here, and we're doing ourselves another recruit level video talking about weapons, plasma for the Knight's household. Now, recruit level series is a new player friendly series, so if you are a experienced player, this video is probably not for you. But if you know players who are newer to the game, or you've got some friends who are interested in joining the game or looking into starting to play, please refer them to these videos. Have them check this out. This is just basic knowledge to kind of reiterate and explain what certain mechanics are, how they work, and how to put them to use or fight against them. That being said, I'm going to talk about weapons. We're going to talk about plasma. Those are two things that came with the Knight's household. The Knight's household have got these wonderful little Knight cards, and then they've got the two slots. They've got a left arm and they've got a right arm. And you pick weapons through the course of the game. As they work currently, you play them onto an arm, and you are able to use that weapon immediately. Now, it doesn't mean that it has flank. It means that it's essentially a fast unit that you can attack with right away. You can shoot with right away. May or may not change, and if it does, I may have to revise this video, but presently that's the way it's been for the last month and a half, 2 months. So that's really it. Now, to use those weapons, though, you require plasma. Plasma is a secondary energy resource, similar but not entirely the same as Psyker from the Thousand Suns. Now, each warlord, each knight itself has a reactor. Reactor is kind of like the Psyker variant, where you gain plasma at the start of your turn for how much reactor that you've got. Castus Orlok is going to give me 1 plasma every turn at the start of my turn. Then, as I play my weapons, instead of just attacking, like this card here is just a weapon, but until I play 1 plasma, I'm not going to gain this +1/+0 benefit. I just simply won't. I have got to spend plasma to gain that benefit. Otherwise, my warlord is simply attacking as a standard 2-attack warlord. There are various ways to gain plasma. Cards that play rally, as well as cards that have got reactor on them, or cards that you can play just straight up, not House Divine, over tax reactor, just to straight up gain plasma. So it's very easy to do. It's very easy to gain plasma. How you use it in managing your resources is important. Do you spend it all turn after turn to deal damage? Do you build it up for late game options to employ something like the Hecaton Claw, which gives you a lot of juice if you dump it all, or for a larger shot in a weapon like the Graviton Singularity Cannon, or maybe the Volkite Cheravile, which is a hard removal for 3 plasma. It's a little undercosted in my opinion, but regardless, how you choose to do it and how you choose to spend it is really up to you. So, with all that said, there's a few things that we're going to need to show off with the Knights when it comes to them. We're going to talk about how to face them, how to deal with them, and how to put them to use. Now, something that's very important to know when it comes to Knights is if your weapon has a hit point value. It's got its own thing. When 8 hit points is taken by your warlord, this can't be targeted directly. So when this warlord takes damage, the damage will apply to the weapons. So if I take 2, this becomes a 6 hit point target. If I heal my warlord, my weapons heal as well. So if I'm down, this weapon is down to 2 health, and I heal my warlord for 4. Not only does my warlord heal, but my health on my weapon goes up to 6. That's very important in managing your weapons and managing the resources appropriately. And let's go ahead and do... Let's throw him out there. Let's throw him out there. We're going to pay 1 to juice with their Psyker. We've got our 5 plasma. We're going to go ahead and take that out. Now you'll see we've taken 4 damage, and that's gone down 4. Now we're going to heal 1. We go up 1, and then our weapon goes up 1. That's very important to know. You always have to keep an eye on your weapon health, because once you lose the weapon, you're going to have to put another weapon there to replace it. On top of that, as you're fighting Knights, don't take it for granted if they have got a low health weapon, because they can very quickly heal and that can be a problem. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, just get rid of him. And we've got terror, so yeah, let's go ahead and juice it. And let's work on that. Weapons offer a variety of things at your disposal. Currently, as it stands now, there are a few issues that players have got with weapons, and I think now's a point in time for me to point them out, so you as a newer player aren't as frustrated when they take place. First off and foremost, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. First off and foremost, when you stun a warlord, you do not stun the weapon slots. Those remain active. That doesn't change. That's something that a lot of players have got to learn. You cannot attack weapons directly, nor can you target them directly. So warlords by themselves are not susceptible to troops that have access to flank. That's very important to note. But like if Fabius Bile were to hit me with the a stun a troop, right? Stun a warlord, stun a unit, I could still attack with these weapons. In addition to that, not only can I still attack with those weapons, if I use those weapons, and this is something that I call it triple dipping. I don't know, there might be a different term of the community, but if I use this weapon, let's say I have a battle cannon here, I'm going to use Havrum to create. Speaking of battle cannon, let's see if I can give you an example. This is perfect. This is a perfect example. I'm going to play a battle cannon here. I'm going to use that battle cannon. Then I'm going to play another battle cannon. Now, I can use it a second time. This arm can act more than one time. If I had a third battle cannon, I could throw it on there too if I had the energy for it. That's very problematic for some. That's a problematic issue in general. It allows players to drop a lot. Now, I don't know if that's going to be fixed or designed, and hopefully at some point down the road, maybe this video will be outdated and I'll have to change it. But I wanted to show that to you so you're not thrown off by that or confused or frustrated when that happens, because it's very likely that it can happen. Let's see if we can wrap this one up here, get some juice, heal up, damage, play that, make a weapon, go for the end game. The weapons do a host of things. They do a wide range of different things, but most of them, in the end, deal damage, which should not be a huge surprise. I gotta get rid of that. I gotta get rid of that before that's gonna be a problem. That 9, ugh, that's a problem too. Let's go ahead and yeah, let's go ahead and steal that. Let's have a look in here. We'll go ahead and do that. As you can see, there's no shortage of plasma that the knights can have. A good, well-tuned knight deck can easily generate plasma, but putting it to use, especially if you're taxed, fairly taxed in the course of a game, that can be an issue. That can be an issue. Right now, for now, we're just going to go out and we're going to lay out the damage. And let's go ahead and deal that. Keep our warlord protected. I've got more than enough. Plus, I can get this Favorite of Mars on there as well. I'm not worried about it. So there are a few things there just to make note when it comes to plasma, when it comes to the knights in general. I should say the knights in general. They just have got this way of creating a second resource, using those weapons, and working to produce a very consistent threat all the time. Driven by weapons and plasma, time and time again. and we'll go ahead and wrap this game up here quickly. That is not just knights, that is weapons, and that is plasma. Now, in the event that you're playing a knight deck and you happen to copy cards with Jubok, Nirat, Kyrene, any other card that copies a card that your opponent has played, and it copies a Reaper Chain Fist or a weapon, you will instead get a 0 energy card that allows you to draw a card, much in the same way that if you did for the Thousand Suns. Although the Thousand Suns one cost you 1 energy. The Knight's card does not cost you anything. You can't see it here. It's not invisible in the collection. It's a 0 energy draw card. So you don't lose anything. You just have the ability to draw a card. How do you combat weapons? Well, you can't combat plasma, except with forcing your opponent to use plasma and keep their plasma level very low. That will limit their options late game. If they only have got 2 or 3 plasma, they can't bring this graviton cannon out and fire it at 4. They need some other card. They need some other way to get that. So you need to keep an eye on your opponent's plasma. But also, the other way that you deal with weapons is you damage the opponent's warlord. That can be very hard because sometimes you're going to have troops out that you don't want to ignore, or you can't ignore because they've got front lines. So that makes it a little tricky. But if you've got tactics for your hand that can deal 4 damage, 6 damage, 2 tactics back to back, plus a warlord attack that can deal 8 damage, you can take these weapons out of commission. And then your opponent has got to replace them before they have those abilities useful. Now that can be easier said than done sometimes. But that's really how you do it. And you can't let a battle cannon sit at 4 health or 6 health because it's too easy for your opponent to recover. But if you can bring a battle cannon to 1 health, you have a better chance at finishing off on your next turn. So if you can hit your opponent's warlord with damage, that's how you do it. And you hit them as often as possible. Don't spread your love around. Don't try to deal with threats that are on the board that aren't going to cost you as much. If you've got a Martian emissary, yeah, that might be annoying. You might want to get rid of this guy. But if you can instead deal 3 damage to your enemy's warlord to drop that battle cannon down in where it gets 0 hit points, that is going to help you much, much better in the long run. So that's it for me, guys. That is Knights Households. That's weapons and plasma. Weapons and plasma. I hope that's been helpful and useful to you. If it has, please let me know in the comments below. And check out the other stuff in the Recruit Level series. If there's other topics, videos, mechanics, concepts, just game basics that might help you as a newer player, that is what the Recruit Level series is aimed to do. Until next time, keep playing Legions, and we'll talk to you later.